This video has been automatically generated from an article written by Martin Freiland. That's me, on martinfreiland.com. Many see the central bank digital currency, CBDC, as the big monster that enables total control over transactions. But if you think of a social credit system where you could consider the point score as a balance, then microtransactions become necessary, and the banking network is simply not suitable for that. This requires blockchain technology and tokenization. Crypto payments via, for example, the Solana network are much more suitable for this. If you want total control over the masses as a slave master, you need two things: AI and tokenization. AI to analyze behavior and monitor each individual in real time, and tokenization for rewarding or punishing. The goal is, of course, that ultimate slavery system where you completely financially trap people if they do not obey the system's will. Do you still remember the fairly recent discussion about the Asylum Necessity Measures Act, Bill 36.704, in which, through an amendment, suddenly also criminalization of illegality was included, the proposed Article 108A in the Aliens Act? Due to the wording, it seemed as if even providing assistance to someone who resides illegally, like giving someone a cup of soup, could be interpreted as enabling that residence. Incidentally, that amendment came from the Party for Freedom, the PVV. It all revolves around criminalizing illegality. And you are already illegal without a digital ID, which may become invalid with a low social credit score. Now it seems as if these kinds of developments are coincidental, but the entire refugee problem serves as a cover for the introduction of laws and measures that will be useful for bringing everyone under total control. This also applies to the call for border controls and how illegal immigrants should be treated. Ultimately, as a law-abiding citizen who wants to maintain their social credit score, you must unlearn the tendency to help someone, as you will be punished by point deduction. Offering a cup of soup to that refugee will soon be offering a cup of soup or a place to sleep to your own brother or sister. Forget about it, because your point score will immediately decrease. And those points determine the length of your slave chain. If you have more points, you can go to the Veluwe for a walk, safe within the fences and surrounded by cameras that protect you from the dangerous wolf, of course. If you have more points, you can use the faster lane on the highway, take the high-speed train, or fly. You're not going to give up that little luxury you have acquired with so much effort because someone needs your help. No way. That person should have been a more obedient citizen. Then he or she would have had more points, and nothing would have happened. Do you see where this is going? The example I recently posted on X is just a mild version of what is to come. Every movement, every statement you make, every thought you have will be monitored in the new system that can indeed literally read your thoughts. In George Orwell's 1984, and in the Utopia video shown on X, you could still hide from the cameras and microphones. But if you realize that the so-called mRNA vaccines contain graphene oxide, and know that graphene oxide crosses the blood-brain barrier, and therefore functions as an antenna in the brain, then suddenly it appears that reading thoughts is very possible. Graphene oxide in the brain enhances the electromagnetic, three-dimensional pattern associated with every thought, every motor action, and every perception. The intricate 5G network allows this information to be read out in real time. By the way, that brain-computer interface that all vaccinated people have offers two-way communication, so taking over someone's perception or motor skills becomes possible. But that is beside the point. The ultimate monitoring tool was injected during the coronavirus PSYOP. The mega AI data centers being built worldwide will start doing real-time analyses of behavior, thoughts, and perceptions of each individual. Realize what this means. The system can literally watch and listen in real time through the eyes and ears of every vaccinated person. You thought Facebook's and Meta Ray-Ban smart glasses were invasive. You has not seen nothing yet. Every vaccinated person will soon be like someone with such glasses, but without knowing it. The system can see and hear everything from everyone in real time, globally. All that is needed is sufficient network capacity and data center capacity. It is no coincidence that the AI industry is booming on the stock market. This AI industry forms the basis for the future slavery system. And we are not talking about a future in the sense of in about 10 years. No, we are talking about 2026 to 2027. It is almost ready. All that is needed is sufficient energy to power all those data centers. The fiber optic is already in your house, and the 5G antennas are already in every lamppost in your street, in your smartphones, in the smart sensors in your house, and in your Wi-Fi modem. Cryptocurrencies can tokenize everything. This means that everything gets a digital address, an address on the blockchain. Everything and everyone. Even turning on your blinker on the highway is a transaction. If you want to change lanes on the highway, to go to that faster lane, for which you have to give up a few social credit points, that is a transaction. If you cross the road on a red light, that leads to a transaction. Your smart toilet monitors the composition of your feces and then makes a transaction. Ate too much meat, minus 10 points. Checkout at the supermarket will no longer be done via cash registers. But the smart sensors, the digital tag, the token, know that you are taking the steak and putting it in your fridge at home. It just deducts from your balance. And if you give a bite of that steak to your friend, who is less fortunate, then the system knows that because the DNA token in the steak can be linked to the feces of your friend. Yes, it goes that far. The technology is already there. But Martin, were not you in favor of cryptocurrencies? No, I frequently explain why Bitcoin is the decentralized digital solution that can temporarily keep you out of the clutches of the banking system, and how the basic principles of Bitcoin are sound. Bitcoin is a cryptocurrency, but cryptocurrencies are not Bitcoin, just as a condor is a bird, but not all birds are condors. Cryptocurrencies like Solana and others do use blockchain technology, but have nothing to do with Bitcoin. Such cryptocurrencies are designed for tokenization, also known as smart contracts, and are intended to process billions of transactions per minute. And that is what you need if you want to tokenize the entire world and settle transactions in real time on the social credit score system. But Martin, do not you also use AI? Yes, since the 80s when I had a calculator. AI is what runs our entire simulation. Automation, the internet, the fiber optic cable, your mobile phone. Everything is part of the system set up to bring the masses into total slavery. And we all make more or less use of AI. It is in your car and in your phone, and it is in your fridge. We now call it artificial intelligence because it can now have conversations, produce photos and videos, and code. But fundamentally, they are logical circuits like those in the neurons in your brain, computer in your head. The human avatar through which you, consciousness, perceive this false reality is already part of the artificial intelligence that drives this Luciferian simulation. It is a fallacy to think that AI will take over our lives. The entire life, which you think is your life, is merely the illusion of a computer simulation. What the system is doing now is putting the human avatar step by step more into oppression and fear. So you forget who you really are. Who you really are is consciousness perceiving this false reality. Who you really are is sovereign consciousness of the original creative reality. So you must learn to reject the authority of the system and focus on autonomy and independence. Focus on who you really are, always and everywhere. The system has no authority over you. Do not give it any. Those who want to return to the original can do so. That moment will come quickly. even before this total control system comes into being. The phoenix will soon rise again, and then the door back home will open. Okay, that was it again. Share and like this video, and see you next time.